And action. Well, welcome to LMU 1.3. Welcome to Paul Ricard. They removed the chicane, which I very much love about this. Let me do one practice pit exit because it's quite a critical one. Yeah. We're running the lovely Genesis. I mean, honestly, most of you have probably watched other bigger content creators which have the Monday access to new content, talk about the car. It's a different hypercar, but it's not anything special in particular, I guess. But well, it's new, has its own characteristics, so that's nice for a bit of a change. So we are racing it today, of course. That's been a pit exit. And then you brake. Does it stop? It stops. Alright. Good enough. Let's see a 35. Oh no. Do we need a 35s? I didn't really have opportunity to properly test a quali run. I did it, but then got blocked by traffic, of course. But yeah, I'm building the Go setups for Genesis, for Barcelona, and for this Paul Ricard 1A, so that's what we are doing today. So sorry, David, no ELMS. Actually, I thought of maybe doing ELMS with LMP3, but I don't know, maybe my game crashes. We don't know if the game is stable yet, so 100-minute races in these conditions, I'm not overly confident of it. So I intended to skip the Barcelona launch party. I don't have a setup, I'm not prepared for it at all, so yeah. Ow. Track limit, of course. This corner is funny when people are exiting pits and people on hot tires are coming through. It's worse than super clipping into Spoon at Suzuka. Like 50 versus 300 kph in the same corner. Absolutely insane. Alright, so they did a 36 low in Peugeot. Copy. Well, let's see what I can do here. Bop is a weird one. Bop is a very weird one. Anyway, yeah, hello everyone, bonjour everyone. Paul Ricard ACC version, I mean kind of. It's my favorite version with skipping the first chicane. It's basically the old like 70s and 80s layout. More like 70s. The original, before they added all kinds of chicanes and stuff. Hey Pedro, oh I saw your message before, but I didn't listen to it yet. I will do later. About additional FFB effects, you know, let's put it like that, I am part of School of Devin. Devin says everything that's additional effect is just canned stuff on the top of what it should be, so you're just putting random stuff with delay on top of the normal FFB, so you're basically hurting yourself by using effects. But people want the effects, so there you have them. I've not tested them at all. My FFB works well. I don't think I need anything. Right, where is the apex? Where to turn in? Around here? Easy flat, but it's just insanity. Can we make the... we cannot make the apex. Okay. Next lap. Yeah, there is a cut bug. Actually, two cut bugs. In that slow ride, you get a cut if you get more of half of a car of the track, and the same out of the fast ride that's after this straight. You cannot really use exit curb. It's just gonna make you have a cut. The ACC has really strange track limits, right? You can just like go 3 meters off track in some places. But yeah, I'll show you, like, do this. Yeah, it's a track limit, but well, it was a very slow one, so it's green. I guess it would be mayhem on strict track limits. Yeah, the track, well, the tire temps are struggling a bit. Yeah, dvojni VRC, I don't know. WRC, yeah, there you go. Glued together, so I'm not a technician or engineer or anything in that aspect, so I don't know how easy it is to glue two engines together, but it seems to be, well, working. This is the apex, but doesn't matter. Where to brake, like end of curb. There you go. You know, it's an LMDH. It doesn't like to brake, but it's good on the straight. Oh, I heard a funny thing about Alpine logo somewhere on this car. Maybe I can try to find it if I have time in the end of quali session. But hey, it is kind of a Peugeot track. Like low downforce, comparable to Le Mans. Second gear is so short. New haircut indeed, Tommy. Fresh from today. 37.8, yeah, I'll have to work hard to catch Sademi. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Bob. I think even at Barcelona it's still Peugeot versus Ferrari. In the change logs both cars got insane kilograms, but they are still the quickest. Probably, maybe. What hypercar I would compare? It's just like kind of a generic LMDH. One last attempt. Okay, now I need Sademi not to make a low 36. Ah, yeah. Alright. 2 tents. Surely I can find those 2 tents. Right, what I wanted to show was this. I can find the camera. The controls. Come on. Why are they like diagonal? Where is it? There used to be an Alpine logo somewhere. Maybe I would need higher details. Ah, there you go. Come on. Where is it? Ah. Like these controls are just utterly horrible for some reason. Just doesn't... Ah, okay. Well, you get the idea. You get the idea, but... Okay, down. RTG. And load the setup. I don't have a setup, I just need full tank. Actually, let me be very silly and just hide the clicks, because this is kind of version 1.3 of the Go setup. Right. Now what? It's kind of, yeah, Oreca builds, and Alpine has similar chassis. I don't know how exactly it is. 40 minutes, it's not a full tank, right? 10 seconds. 25 laps. Too much fuel, anyway. Let's see how this goes. I think I overfueled by 2 laps. Ah, it's the old Peugeot, of course. Yeah, the new Peugeot, probably not that good on the straight, but the old Peugeot without the rear wing, it's good at tracks like this, Le Mans and flat out sections. It will have a horrendous start. Let's see how the Alpine... Sorry. Let's see how the Genesis starts. With LMDH it should kind of pull nicely. Actually, I don't know. Usually you decrease the power cut a bit on the start. But this car is so weird with traction control. It's just... Sometimes wheel spins it insanely. Maybe I start on 7 and hope for the best. Imola Sprint, okay. Well, new Peugeot is good on many tracks, of course, but old Peugeot is good on some other tracks. Okay. Let's go. It pulled quite well. Of course, 150 kilowatt pull. Don't lift. Oh. Tenths. This straight is as long as Le Mans Mulsanne to the first chicane. Where is he going? Look at that. Okay, I guess I have a bit of downforce advantage, but drag not advantage. I see some flashing on the screen. Yeah, that Peugeot is insane with the traction, of course. 150 kph, four-wheel drive, and then it has no drag, so... And that's a yellow cut, yeah. That extra couple of liters don't help me either. Alex. Maybe I had too much PC on the start, but it wasn't a bad start. It has no downforce though, the Peugeot. Come on, turn. Yeah, like 2/10 of a skill issue for me. Hi Swarthy. Genesis, I mean it's LMDH. It's alright. Bob is not bad. It's not great on brakes. I think it has weak brakes. But from setup perspective, I think it works alright on different wings. Not like you're not forced to use low wing, or you're not forced to use higher wing. Quite funny about traction control. I think it needs more than other cars. Yeah, the battery is alright. It can be empty, it's not a problem. As long as we don't box. Because it needs the battery to pull away. I don't know about Imola. Picky Peugeot, but not Peugeot, Porsche. But that worked well for me. I didn't pay him. Come on, Apex. It needs a bit more rear RB, but I had a big rear snap at some point before, so... I don't know. I don't dare. 8-10 gap. Alex, about the bop, it looks good on paper, but I think there were some big issues today with it. It didn't got applied correctly or something. Some cars were incredibly weighty. It needs, well, it had a hot fix, but maybe it needs another one. Look at that downforce advantage. What fixed reverted? I don't know. I didn't quite follow everything. But yeah, the bop system is updated now, whatever that means. Oh, that's lucky traffic. Well, maybe not. Maybe that is a lucky traffic now. We won't get him, alright. Kind of game on, right? I can make it within 3/10 in the slipstream. Ooh. Big cut. Oh, that one is green. So I guess it's still partially same issue as before. The more you cut, the greener it is. Good to know. Yeah, 15 seconds to P3. We are rather quick. We will get traffic again in high speed. Oi. That rear complaint for a moment. It's quite aerodynamically positive. Genesis. Oh, that GT3 doesn't look good. We'll catch him right in the worst position. You have to lift for GT3s. That's a green cut, okay. Well, that's 2/10 easy. It's the same old bug. The more you cut, the easier you get away with it. Copy. That's all for GT3s? Alright. At the brakes, kind of feels like a Valkyrie on the brakes. The micro lockups really cost you, and they happen very early. I'm missing some pace. I will need more lucky traffic. Red cut at T1 after touching the... Yeah, well... braking too early. Yeah, I'm getting a bit of that weird rear feeling where the rear wants to kind of let go, but at the same time the front is absolutely not doing anything. It's confusing. Still green. That Porsche is a bit broken. Yeah, swerving. I mean, the Peugeot, if he nails that long right, he doesn't really lose time to me. I'm getting quite lucky with traffic this race. Oops. I don't know what to do with the rear. It rotates well, but doesn't kind of stick. It's the tire model issue. Oh, yeah, the Peugeot pulls better, above 150 for sure. So next batch of GT3s. Bring it on. Scary. Now I'm getting stuck in the high speed. Am I? Come on. Go for it. Would go second gear here in the penultimate long left, but I need more rotation, but it feels like if I downshift I'm just gonna lose the rear completely. Korean machine going alright. Oh, where is the corner? Okay, I don't know. This is a tricky chicane for multi-class. Man, I needed lucky traffic, not unlucky traffic. 3.5 gap. Ah, rip. Ah. I don't know what I should have done. If I went for inside, it was way too late for this high sweeper. I don't know how easy it is for GT3s to make it flat out. I didn't try before. And now it's clearing them all on the straight. Unlucky. Well, I think I did the correct thing in turn 1 and 2. Just stay out of it. Suddenly I lost the corner underneath me. And then I don't know about bumps and grip levels, so just went straight. It does sound good, yeah, for a V8. I mean, I still prefer other sounds, the 6 and 12 cylinders. Yeah, that previous lap really hurt me. And he's getting all of them on the straight again. How about second gear? I guess it's kind of same first or second. Need to tell myself every time, don't break into T1. Immersion audio that I said. Well, I added a bit of decibels for lower frequencies. That helps, of course, because those are missing, I think, by default. At least on lower end headsets. Gained a bit this lap. How are the tires? Actually decently cold. Well, not cold, but not hot. 30 track temp. A small micro lockup and I'm just fully gone from the apex. Hey Jonathan, I am using around 18 Newton meters. Enough to get shaken over these bumps. If I knew about this cut, I would do it in quali and get pole maybe. Although in quali maybe it would give me actual yellow cut and invalidate the lap. Purple sector 2. That's a nice lap. Yeah, the car is getting quicker and quicker. Of course, a lot of straights, not that much wear or deg. Ah, that one stayed yellow. Živio Roman. Yeah, well, I mean, I got used to like 18. What was TSPC Thrustmaster? I had that for some years. And then I went to the SimiCube. I mean, it's not always at 18, you know. That's just the peak value. Orange? What? Yeah, that's the bug. Nice. Well, let's use less of the curb then. Lap of Catalonia, no, it's... I did some clicks. Right, inside or outside? Ah, this is so sketchy. There goes another second. P1. Unbelievable. Ah, this traffic. Come on. No, I use 25, so SimCube 2 Pro is 25. I use 18 in the SimCube software and around 0.4 in game, which sometimes bring it up to clipping, but most of the time not. Just over biggest curbs or spikes it clips a bit. Very rarely. It's not actually that hard or stiff. Many GT3s. That gained me a little bit. Actually not. I just offset my previous lap sector 1 issue. Pretty sure the car is flying for a moment there over the bump. From the moment when I said I need some lucky traffic onwards, I'm suffering. It's not like the in-game multiplier is not actually multiplying the Newton meters. So even on 0.2 over a huge bump, or a curb, or a glitch, you will still max out all the Newton meters that you demand from another orange, come on. Outside of Porsche, never a good idea. Alpha point despite all the lifting. Okay. Well, the traffic is against me, so what can I do? I think Sademi with the old Peugeot marginally quicker in the first laps. 2 tenths, 3 tenths maybe, if I didn't nail it. But then I think now I have a bit of advantage on pace, alone. But the traffic is absolutely wrecking me. And now I need to lift around out. You see, like this is worse than the super clipping in F1. This pit exit. It's crazy. There is no way they would ever run this layout IRL. Like for a race at least. For testing, yes, but Come on. Yeah, like it's 6 minutes to go. I don't have a chance anyway. Traffic has decided once again that I should lose. But yeah, as David says, that's not how it calculates. McLaren behind. Broke quite straight. So 5 to go-ish, maybe. That curb is loud. I cannot even hear the engine. I think I get the GT3 again into the first chicane. If you can call it a chicane. On the outside. Yeah. Oh, okay, anyway. I had to avoid the cut because that would be a drive-through. And then the car just doesn't stop into that first braking zone. Yeah, well, there we go. I don't know, like, if you're behind the GT3 there, you cannot go around the outside. You have to wait for the switchback. I don't know. Well, either way, 3 times GT3 traffic into the first 2 corners. And okay, this is a slow one. And it never happened to Sademi, I think. Nothing new. Traffic absolutely doesn't want me to win. The downshift. Then the engine braking is quite strong. But the front is still dead. Well, it's not really exponential though, it's just this in a way. But if you make 1.0 in game and 80 Newton meters, that's too late on the brake. Maybe. Just about. It's not 80 Newton meters that you get max if you put 1.0, like it's... If you put 1.0 you will have those 80 Newton meters in all the quick corners and even some medium speed corners, you will just hit that 80 Newton meters ceiling and you will clip on it. And then the less you have, at highest force, you will hit that 80 Newton meters. So like, again with 0.2 you will never hit it unless there is like a big glitch in the road and the torque in the steering just goes absolutely insane and then you get a spike to 18, otherwise you will get less. Well, I mean, for this combination it's kind of nice. The car is very positive, it's kind of almost dangerous. It's not as dangerous as the Ferrari, where suddenly the rear just absolutely kills you on the entry now and then. On a not fully optimized setup. Of course I can make more clicks on this as well. One to go. I think I would have a good battle against the Peugeot of Sademi. We were kind of tight overall, within margin of error, let's say. If it wasn't for everything that happened. And that yellow would turn green anyway at some point, but I'm not risking it. With 3.25 cuts. That's how I imagined my slipstream when overtaking for the lead, but Peugeot is another class car on the straight. Low speed rotation is quite neutral if you don't overdo the front. And feel the rear being quite alive in third as well. But there we go. Across the line with 11% too much, let's say. Okay, GG Sademi. Nice drive. Why don't I have... Ah, there you go. 4 minutes till the next one. Let me quickly check... I'm not gonna find it ever, will I? I need to register for the next one shortly. There I was already far behind. Is it here? Ah, this was the one. You cannot dive, but if you go around the outside, there is no more corner, right? So yeah, just skill issue. David setup and go Barcelona. I want to try the Genesis around Barcelona. You know, game has not crashed yet, but it might, and I don't know what... I don't want to do 100 minutes. Generating results. I don't want to wait for this, so let me quickly go to online. This transition is more smooth now, which kind of feels good at the same time as it red flashes my eyes. Register, we're in. Let's see the lap times. 29.7. Ferrari, Peugeot. Biller 30.3. Might be doable. Many Genesis. What's the plural of Genesis? Genesis. Or Genesis. Genesis. Let's see the results. Genesis. I don't know how English works there. I mean, there is nothing much to be seen here. This page kind of lost any weight after they removed how much percent you gain or lose. Pain lost 40% with this 3 and 1 down error. David, I might open it and scroll through it. Now let me do Genesis. Bieler. Just having a look of who's potentially kicking my butt. This is broken down here, the formatting. How many percent Alpine is the Genesis? You know, it doesn't feel like... You don't need to do the weird suspension stuff from Alpine on the Genesis. So like the anti-roll bars are different. You can run softer springs without crashing the ground. We have a pit stop here. What are the lap times? 20... Yes, weird. What is this flashing? And why is it so bright? Okay, let me go to gain on the camera and decrease it a bit. But it's like weird glitching. Not counting the logo. Arda, it's gonna be available on the Go Setup web shop on Friday. That's fortunately or unfortunately the only thing I can say. We have some Slovenian in the chat. Kdor ne skače ni Slovenec. So we have quite... Slovenians will understand. What did they want to do? 60-minute race. Do a pit stop where we lose around... How many seconds? I will not do this cold out lap anyway. Shadows off, yes. Minus 20 for fuel, minus drive-through. And we divide by 89. 40 laps. 40 laps. If it's hot enough, if it's hot enough, maybe it would be worth changing the left side in the pit. No, it wasn't at Bahrain, so Qatar. It wasn't at Qatar, so it wouldn't be here. Want a bit less fuel. Švedska mašina. Nice YouTube handle. I imagine the sound of the 5-cylinder in the Volvo when reading that. corners are kind of sketchy on the outlap. Not about Volvo. Okay. Your office building used to be consulate of Slovenia's office. Ooh. I mean, that's... You say boring fact, but if it's accompanied by some pictures and stuff like that, then suddenly it becomes interesting. Obviously you cannot screenshot, or like you cannot move pictures into YouTube chat, which is sad, but alright. Yeah, I'm not sure. I have too much fuel, I think. It should still be 5 attempts. It's super weird after competing on this track as Assetto Corsa conversion into R Factor 2 in Formula Sim Racing. It was always kind of high downforce track with F1 cars. Suddenly you bring this hypercar here, try to do turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and you're like, what is this? Feels like a complete truck compared to F1 cars. This corner is flat in F1, right? In quali at least. Not this year. Turn. I have max deploy and I cannot burn it. Interesting how much of these curves the car can take. The worst place to get understeer. Okay, now, why is the tire so cold? Well, I get 2 more attempts, so that's nice. I need some blanking on the brakes. How much time do I need to find? 2 seconds. That curb is not good. Horrible lap time. Horrible temperatures. Okay, left side is good now. Got the lift. Ay, ay, ay. I would need split the duct, like 68 front right, 80 front left. What to do with this? Picky. Well, 4/10 of my hot lab, my GoPro hot lab that I uploaded some hours ago. And this is, well, that one was saturated. This is high grip. Oh, we have Amos. There is a letter too much. Kind of physical with these high-speed corners, and then with the car being so lazy. 45 seconds. Setup, full tank. What do we need? New tires for sure. Yeah, what is this tire scenario? Either way. Can we do actually, wait. Can we do is this a lift and coast? Ooh, hard on the front left. Actually, I would need a hard on the rear left in this situation. Thinking of strategy. We will see. Hi, Tom. Front left went to 95. Yeah, it's... I had more temperature on rear left again than front left somehow. Yeah, I think Peugeot and Ferrari are still probably quickest around here. don't have rotation. I stayed on track. I cannot turn. Okay. Sorry. It was the perfect Verstappen braking point, right? I'm horrible on brakes. Dear rotation. Okay, green cut, that's fine. Okay, so... yeah, there is no way I can do 40 laps. It's gonna be a splash. But we are leading a race, which is nice. I just need to be super careful with the left side temperatures. do. Yeah, that was the theme of turn 1. Didn't intend, but... turned out to be like that. Need to wait forever before going on power here. Fuel usage, I mean, I'm not that far off extra lap, you know. I think we got a fuel saver here. Especially with mediums on the left. I will keep the temperatures down. Hi Tom, wait, I said hi to you before or didn't I? I forgot. Anyway, welcome to the chat. As long as, yeah. Well, for now, my game has been stable, which is nice. I'm for sure going for the fuel saver. And I'm not on target, I need to lift and coast more. How are the tires? 70, okay. Suddenly we have a bit of an upper hand, I think. Bruins behind, going for full push. Biller with a bit less energy, well, marginally. Ambient temp 23. Again, this weird flash, black flash through the whole monitor. No pressure in the straight line. But I need to do the lift. Anti-blue light. I don't. I think the monitor has that inbuilt, but I have it turned off. Although that's just like color schemes. I do have the light bulb program, but it's off at the moment. I don't have it on for streaming. Traffic time. Never done multi-class at Barcelona before, I think. Where are you going, man? Oh, yeah. Well, we are all learning how to multi-class around here. Hamilton versus Rosberg, version 2. There is no grip around the outside. Oh. trying to out-fuel save ourselves. Barcelona is fun for multi-class, I guess. Oh yeah. Get these understeer moments. Oi, lag? Oh no, I'm getting disconnected again, am I? But lagging like that at Qatar one time in the WEC experience race. The leader is not running away. Yeah, online status is orange, so it's at our own risk, of course. Black, did you see that? Like just black frames now and then. Doesn't feel like I would need hard, to be honest, but it's close to overheating. I don't know about any video. Now only the mirror flashed, but that happened for the past year. Sometimes that just the mirror flashes. The virtual one. Oh, we lost Amos Laurito. Had the most energy of us all. He's pushing too hard into that last corner. Good evening, Till. Yeah, maybe the camera doesn't pick them, but like just one fully black frame every minute or so. But it's so short that probably the 60 FPS camera doesn't take it or record it. But this fuel seems to be the better strat. E1 is not really pulling away. Ooh, what a snap. Biller is pushing. Yeah, 3080 RTX encoder, the NVENC. You know what, this Genesis, like, for the race, for the long run, it feels very good on this setup. Mechanical grip is nice. Not snapping on me like a Biller. Every lap he goes deeper. Wide. If I gained FPS, I mean, supposedly just better to encode on 3080 because it just has separate processing for such occasions. It doesn't really interfere with what it does with the game, as far as I understand. Let's see, maybe I go for it now with the new batch of traffic. I don't want to push it because then the leader will build a gap. And I'm happily fuel saving now. That was on the edge for Biller. What is that? Just a GT3, okay. Biller is gonna learn the last corner. Eventually. I don't want to waste my fuel for the move, you know, I want to kind of be opportunistic a bit. Unlucky. He really forced into the Mustang. He will get stuck in the last two corners again. He's gonna send it. Got hurt a bit, but that's fine. I could also stream encoding through... Yeah, I could, but this felt stable and good enough. I don't think I have issue with GPU, you know. I think it's just been Le Mans Ultimate and Windows update causing problems. We will get the traffic into the last corner. Gonna be interesting. There we go. Now he will just save fuel a bit less. Oh, he turned into my side. Micro lockup, now he's on the inside. You know, he goes and he recover, he can. The longer he's doing that, the more I benefit fuel-wise. Nice battle. How can we pull away? Getting that very, very marginal micro lockup. I mean, to some extent it is a bit similar to Ferrari in a way. It has, I think, a bit more front than other LMDH, except Caddy, but Caddy is a different beast. Yeah, Biller will have to learn how to do the last corner, get advantage over me. Or my mediums need to absolutely die, but I think I'm fine, just about. Almost feels like slow motion. These long corners just need to wait for it, wait, but the balance is alright. Yeah, the brakes are brakes. It is kind of like a Valkyrie on the brakes. Track limit? Yeah, okay. The leader gained 8 seconds. Well, that was not in half of the race, because he was behind before. But he cannot, like, he will maybe gain 12 more in the second half of the race, but cannot catch us back. Pit stop. Is this second or third gear? I think it's just third. Okay. Biller lost the pace. Seems the heart is not working that well in these conditions. Oh! Uh-oh. Server! Well, guys, let me know if my stream is stuttering or freezing or something, or if my sound is breaking, or if it's just in-game, because this is scary. Stream is fine. It's just server trying to survive. Peak player, record peak player. How many players we have actually? Oof. Sorry. I didn't feel the crash, I just heard it. Didn't want to die for the apex, but then it didn't turn in, so... Oopsie. Again, one of the first, probably the first multi-class race for most of them around Barcelona, so we are all learning the lines and the interactions. .6k on the road to the new record, let's go. That's so nice. Can I race it? What do you mean? I am racing it in multiplayer. Yeah, it's a nice car. It's alright. I mean, I've mostly driven the Ferrari, the Valkyrie and the Peugeot in the past. It's kind of hard to compare. On some entries it does behave like Ferrari, but that's just the LMU tire model. Sometimes biting a lot on low inputs and surprising you. Like here you just need to turn so gently, otherwise you just have massive brick wall of understeer. Brakes are like Valkyrie, bit of a struggle, but the front is fine. Thank you, Sandores. Yeah, the Genesis, like I am racing now online. This is online 60-minute multi-class race. Top split. Switchback or around outside. Would have waited for the switchback probably. But you never know how long the GT3 will stick it at the apex. Biller is doing a good job fuel saving. I didn't expect to do the switch back or around the outside there, but I would have had to do it. I'm braking too early. I think I'm making it till the end. It should be 40 laps. And I am on the target. And Biller is struggling behind. I think he's getting the rear snaps. And I think I have successfully fixed those with the setup. I didn't drive the Genesis at Spa yet. Or haven't driven it yet. I did practice pit entry, but I don't think I need to do it. Spa is fixed, this here is not fixed. It's a funny blue flag situation. Thank you. Slightly late according to the rulebook, but he's blocking the Biller now. It's tricky with blue flags if the lapped cars are not lifting coasting. And then they lift for you, but you cannot go full throttle through them because you need to lift yourself. I don't have FFB on throttle, like I have not turned on anything of this extra effect. I mean, I have these haptic rumble kits, or well, rumble motors on throttle, on brake, And I've been using SimHub to have feedback there already, so I don't know what exactly I would want from those extra effects, but yeah, I will test them one day. I don't know, like there is some extra clicks that you can do in the settings in LMU now after the update. Besides the Logitech True Force or whatever it's called. I've seen people's clips where their steering wheels went absolutely crazy, probably because of those sliders that went from off to on, or that appeared, that there weren't in the FFB settings before. I can show you later, but honestly I don't think there is much in it. I would rather like to see tires getting improved rather than FFB. But oh well, maybe there is actually some stuff missing from FFB that is now included that will feel better when I feel it. Let's see. There is a lot of, how to say, low RPM power. Even in high gears, the rear keeps going sideways a bit, or leaning a lot on TC. Oh, what? Do not do it ever. How can I know you're gonna go outside? How? Okay, survived. Hello? Oh no. Here comes Biller. Oh! Breathe deeply. And he messed up the last corner. Oh! Why is the traffic like this to me today? Doesn't have to be that stressful. I think the Aston should be good now overall. Like it usually lacked 2 to 4 tenths, sometimes 5. Got hit in the rear. All good. No damage. I need to use the fuel to get through the BMW. Rotation into T1 was really nice. Didn't expect it. I expected a micro lockup and an understeer moment. Oof, it was a freeze now. Oh! Peugeot RIP. I mean, the experience of driving here, it's kind of what I would expect from watching onboards. You cannot really push the front, it's just kind of smooth. You need to handle the rear a bit, you cannot overturn the front outside. Kind of feels good. Semi-realistic. How's the fuel? It'll be 8 laps to go. I need 0.5. Ah, fuel is fine. Just wish I could pull a bit of a safety margin ahead of Biller without getting some crazy traffic. No need to lift that much. Would love a slipstream. Any update on graphics card? I mean, I have a new driver now. The newest one. I didn't go for the game ready, I went for the studio driver because it's supposedly slightly more stable. Or it's not like, it's a bit more checked, usually it's like 2 weeks older. More stable, so no crashes yet in that aspect. But Windows Update is on the latest one now as well. So I just wait and see. Sorry. It's always like diving GT3s into kind of low to medium speed corners. You never know what's gonna happen. It feels like you can easily outbrake them, but then the GT3s just brake so late. And then of course they try to take the apex, but you're kind of there and it's just a very awkward situation. Well, we will learn. Again, first multi-class race around Barcelona. The leader into the pit lane, and we will inherit the lead with 8 minutes to go, which should be 6 laps. I need to lift a bit more. Kind of need to carry quite some speed into this slow left. Brake early, but carry some speed and kind of... Uh-oh. And do late apex to avoid understeer on the exit. The servers are running out of oxygen. That's actually PB for me. 40.5. Can I announce? I cannot announce anything at the moment. Trust the GT3 that you will not understeer. Uh-oh. Stop! Server! Just give me a break. There is this weird black line through the track, which is a great brake marker. That was a big stutter. Porsche was lifting, coasting as well. Okay, what's it for to go? FPS, well, I'm on 141 now. G-Sync, low latency mode on, not ultra, just on, no V-Sync. FFB is a bit different, but I don't know what exactly. There was something about some high frequency noise being optimized or removed or filtered in the changelog, I think. Apart from all the stuff that was added, like the Logitech technology for additional effects and stuff like that. Yeah, well, camera is 60 FPS, so 60 FPS capturing 141 FPS is gonna be looking good. I don't miss the apex at least. There is no rubber on the outside. Saturated grip supposedly. Oh, the GT3s usually keep it on the inside, so rubber doesn't really get put on the road on the outside. Should have dived him for the apex maybe. Now Beeler is on my rear again. Ah, these lags. Two laps to go. Fuel is 2.5 over the line. I can push a bit. Thank you, Ferrari. No. Track limit, almost. Well, worse than track limit is that the ridge get absolutely stuck on. Final lap. I can go full push, nice. That was wrong click. I think I clicked empty button anyway. Yo. No. Ah, come on. I wanted one for the leaderboard. Ah. Okay. P1. P1 is P1. I can be happy with this. Ooh. That would be 29.8 or something. But of course, something has to spoil the perfect party. I mean, it's a win, it's a perfect party already. I should not be unhappy with this. Alright. This was a good race. This was a good race. Let's check a replay or two. Ooh. GG's indeed. Let's check the start. Start was interesting. Very interesting. I squeezed the TC override. In second gear. You know what? That second gear is extremely short. Yeah, that second is too short. Then I quickly went to the middle. And then I broke. What was that? I think just cold brakes, like he was caught up with cold brakes, cold tire, so that was a good job from him to avoid making a massive collision. Whee! Yeah, I'm sorry about this moment. You know, we learn from the best, from multiple world champions. Did I stay on track? White line is part of track, right? Yes. Perfectly legal, everything is super good. You know, if this was like some sanctioned online hosted race, it would be deemed that, well, on the turn entry, his front is ahead of my rear, so I need to always give the space, but at this point the wheels are locked and the LMU physics overrides and we just keep going straight. Wait, where did he dive me? I mean, I kind of let both him and the Peugeot through, but it was for the fuel. Yeah, this is only legal in F1, that's for certain. Yeah, I didn't really want, again, I didn't want to do it. I kind of maybe misjudged it by 2 meters. I did the justice. But I think he at some point tapped me into the rear as well a little bit. What happened to Laurito? Ah, that is the perfect click. I can hear the Italian, the language, I can hear all of it. Let's see how hard words we can say for the Porsche. Well, in most games it's fine. You just like kind of get away with misjudging the gap a bit. In iRacing they would all go to absolute Narnia. In LMU physics happens. It was the smallest of touches, and off went Amos, poor man. I wonder about... No, I'm not gonna find it, right? Maybe I will find the moment where I got stuck behind the biggest battle. Nah, server is gone. No, it's not. What? Why did it stop then? Where is that? It's around here, right? Yeah, this was the one. New LMU pick, let's go. Try to go for it? Well, nope. And then 2 GT3s, 2 hypercars that are lapped. What can you do about it? There goes Biller. That was not the moment, there was another moment where he got caught up in the accordion effect. Oh, that was the one, yeah. The other one. Here comes the Mustang. I mean, if at this point he just diagonals across, we all die. There is no way around it. Like, at this point, he's on the right. So you, of course, you keep racing to go through it. Then he turns left. It's too late for you to avoid, to get out of it. Even if you brake, the speed difference is too big. So well, he was able to do it flat out. Stick the nose in. Yeah, this was the demise of Biller. This last corner, he could not do it. Yeah, the unsafe rejoins, I mean, what he did in real life, he would lose the license for years, probably. Anyway, he won. Gotta love it. And yeah, the fastest lap would have been 0.9, 0.8. No, if I fully focused, it would have been 0.6, 0.7. You know, you all know. Right. In the start of the stream, I wrote the schedule that I do one stint sprint, one wake experience, and then maybe one another wake experience. Let's check. Yeah, in champs you can protest, it's gonna be a big penalty, but yeah, this here is just, if you don't do anything, what am I clicking? Anything, like if it's not premeditated move to crash somebody out, then it's probably not gonna be anything. Intentionally wrecked one race and didn't get a ban. Oof. RC Pro. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, well, I got teased to do the weekly, but I guess the esports split is running at the moment. And I'm thinking of another wake experience. But I don't know, do I want to do Genesis again? I thought maybe taking the Peugeot. Or even the Valkyrie. Nah, I'm not taking the Valkyrie. I have a bit of a setup for it. I don't know, whom do we have? Mardukovic. Well, he's been quick at Qatar. I enjoyed this Genesis. I want to do it again. David versus Gumball. Sounds nice. Isota? No Isota. I can do Peugeot, I can do Valkyrie, but I would prefer to do Genesis again. Why does it say finished? Hello? I cannot click on it. Nah, wrong click again. Online? Daily? Wake experience. Register? Guys, will you be angry with me if I take Genesis again? I really enjoyed this race with this car, like it was better and better. Maybe I could now do the full push strategy. Already P1 with the Genesis. You know what I forgot to do? Music on. Forgetting it. This is a bit of a delay in the stream deck. Fabio. Well, we raced together in VMS and in Datum Restech, but he had the wrong car. What else do we have actually? I thought the Genesis at Spa will be interesting one. And the other, like this alternate layout Silverstone, I want to do that as well, but there is just not enough time for it. Music Honor 310. Well, I feel like I cannot listen to music and drive at the same time. Because, well, I'm not a musician, but I would be in alternate universe where I would not be interested that much in physics, so... But because I went to study physics, I didn't really do any music, but otherwise probably I would be maybe doing some music. And then I'm listening too hard and I cannot drive. LMP2, yeah, ELMS LMP2 is quicker. It's quicker at the Qatar as well. There is some tracks where that ELMS LMP2 is just super fast. This Paul Ricard, I think it's as well because it has super low drag. Or does it? Does it not? Would have to do check. 3 minutes. It's not enough time to do any meaningful practice. Is there anything interesting in the Discord? It's still orange online status. Game updates. Okay, the hotfix has been rolled back. There is not any other announcements I see. Anything else to be checked? I guess not. Yeah, well. Let's see if somebody else has... Oh! Hello there! Dennis and Alex. Oh yeah, well. Then I stay with Genesis. What alternate universe this is? Is Dennis allowed? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I was scrolling past them before when I was checking who is doing the race. Okay, well, let's see how much pace they have. Gonna show up with a Studio 398 setup, right? Okay, 1 minute. I need a backstretch, 1 moment. The stretch has been backed. No practice for you. Well, Dennis, I think you'll be fine, I guess. 8,800. Well, let's go 9,000. Still an hour to go of the prime time. Oh, Adrena, look. Yep, I can confirm. Well, actually, you need to be... Well, for the last corner... Why is it stuck on 0%? It's loading, right? Ah, yeah, it is. Yeah, that Bob situation is intriguing. It's interesting to see that it's separate on the server and offline. It makes sense, kind of. Right, load, hide. And let's see. So what did we actually do before? Remotech 29,294 in quali. So maybe 28 is coming up now. But maybe I kind of want to close the blanking a bit, because the tires took forever to get somewhere. I've driven GT3, yes, but it was offline. I did 3 laps. Wait, no, I didn't drive a GT3. No, I just did the Paul Ricard, the half track version, just to see how the layout is. But no, it was not a GT3. I've just heard that GT3s are a complete mess. But no, I noticed FFB difference, yes, but I cannot put it into words. Just feels smoother a little bit. Actually, I said before, I'll just click here. So we now have additional force feedback effects. We have force feedback effects. We have engine force feedback effects. And then we have advanced force feedback. Whatever this all means. What is additional force feedback effect? Who would understand? Anyway, we go for some quali. Overall, all FFB felt better. Maybe. You know, actually, I not get a drive-through already. Ah, green flag. This is the line for exit. Yeah. Okay. Some of you might know that sometimes I admit that I kind of don't feel much difference between setups and between... Oh, yeah, cold tire. And between FFB, like, it's always kind of the same. Maybe I feel the nuances, but the brain doesn't really get much of them out of them. So, you know, significant FFB changes or setup changes, for me, I could not distinguish, probably. Or I would just say, well, maybe I feel a bit off. And I would just drive through whatever the nuance would be, and maybe I would see a difference in lap time, maybe not. Which is a bad and good thing at the same time, you know. Stuff will not throw me off. But like at iRacing, they can do whatever to their FFB or tire model. To me, everything will feel the same bad. They would just need to recode the whole game before something feels different. So here as well, I don't know, like maybe there is something different, maybe not. It's still kind of like R Factor 2, just with less slip angles. That's how it feels to me. Temperature, come on! Oh yeah, I did increase the wheel range a little bit, as I do for all the hypercars nowadays, just to have a bit more, a bit slower response to the steering. I'm intrigued to see what the Cadillac can do around here. Oh wait, Mrdukovic is in Genesis. Who was in the hypercar, the Cadillac hypercar? I saw somebody in the sign-up list. Or maybe I got confused. Not really a Cadillac track necessarily. RC has returned from maintenance. Ooh. Well, that sounds promising. I just hope for a bit less lags. But yeah, about FFB in the past 2 years of LMU, to me FFB was always the same, just the tire has changed a bit to one side and to other side of sleepiness, then back to stricter side. I think it drives better and better, but it doesn't necessarily really feel better and better. Well, the hypercar tires from 2025, they allowed for much bigger slip angles. The rear was just not stuck to the ground, it was always moving around. So exits were always neutral steer. And it was not that fun. In a way it was fun, but it was just strange. But it might have felt a bit more engaging. Just realize how bad the GMR logo is here on this fender, and on the other side when I have the car or like the player texture detail on medium. Okay, time for lap times. Alright, now the tire temps are happy. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that front response on this tire model, sometimes it just bites, and here it just goes straight. As we prove by 10 milliseconds. Okay. Ah, that snap. How to fix it? Just turn less. You know, that's kind of the R factor 2 behavior. When you brake and turn a little bit, sometimes the rear snaps a lot, but if you turn a bit more, it stabilizes itself. Still the same good old issue. So you either just feather the steering, just tiptoe and feel that first limit, or you just turn through it and feel the rotation from the other side, let's say. Well, anyway, I think, wait, I'm lacking a Genesis manufacturer logo. Yeah, I didn't warm the right side. Yeah, Genesis weakness are the brakes. True. Where I get the setup, I clicked it myself mostly. Where is my... I need to open the ducts. I need... How many seconds we have? 20 seconds. New tires. Full tank. Alright. I'll take the medium again. I don't know how bad of an idea that is, but... Let's see. That was weird. Took a long time for me to be able to drive. I've not tested the new FFV settings. I don't think there is much science in them anyway. Wait, what did I mess up? I messed up in previous start when I went TC override. Let's keep this on 6 and see what happens. It vibrates in pit limit. Okay, yeah, I will check it. I mean, it's just like effects for more immersion. I assume it's not something that will help you a lot. Don't TC override in second gear. Yeah, that's the one. Power cut 6. That's less rubber on the right side. I will have 7. Oof. That wasn't great. The finger didn't want to finger. Can't turn. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Who died? Ow. Ah, that was... Oh, what was that even? Super messy, but we're alive. The curbs on the inside are just... They trick you that you can do it side by side, but in the end they just spew you back on the track into the car that is on the outside, so... Oof. That could have ended much worse. Much worse. Now, do I have a bit of damage? I don't really have damage. Nothing repairable, nothing on the HUD. Have speedo on for a change today. You know, I thought I'm gone. I saw myself in the barrier already. At least 2 times. And then somehow I'm P2. Doesn't make any sense, but I will take it. Forgot to turn off the chat again. The in-game one. P1 not fuel saving. But those guys, P1, P2 at the start, well, I was P1, they were P2, P3 into turn 4. They were super aggressive. And then you just know you cannot just brake late and go into apex and leave one car with, because they will be there, sideways probably. Best when you lose 3/10 by fuel saving, and then the non-fuel saver just messes up the braking point and loses 3/10 by braking too late. But well, P1 is making a pit stop, that's for certain. Wonder if like medium downforce setup would work better for this lift and coasting. This is gonna be a strange battle now. He just doesn't have the pace, I think. But he will never have to lift and coast. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe he's actually using less energy and not planning to box, but maybe he burned 1.5% and then figure out he actually has to save fuel. Yeah, or maybe he's just on base setup. Hey, Hyper, I don't know, like the update for me, it's not something you. Ooh, yeah, there he goes. Ah, poor man. He just never looked comfortable with the car. Now what? I will be a bit slow because I'm saving fuel to avoid a pit stop. Or because I just... Apex. Maybe others are actually on target and I just oversaved a bit. I don't think so. Yeah, full mediums versus a bit of hard, I don't know really. So the Genesis, I have higher temps on rear left sometimes, so it doesn't like it would maybe wreck the balance a bit if I just took rear left hard or just front left hard, but we're lifting coasting anyway, so temperatures aren't bad. You know, like 80, 82 after 10 minutes, it's not ever going to hit 90, so I don't know about hard. The overall for me, this update is just hopefully here to fix all the crashes with the UI and main menu and stuff and other instabilities, and to finally complete the ELMS pack, bring some extra layouts and then the Genesis. No microstutters, that's always nice to have. But I mean, yeah, the experience now is pretty nice. So the server is not... server has behaved. Need to save more fuel. There is just no grip around the outside. It's a tricky kind of little left-right to make a pass on GT Freeze. You kind of feel like you should wait for them for a switchback on the exit, but then you just lose so much time, so you need to go on the left side of them, but then they can diagonal into your rear. More yellow flags. Is that for behind? No. Nice rejoin by the Ferrari. Good job. Oh dear. Pretty tense. Is happily fuel saving behind. Are we at 9k players already? No, but you know what? Overall, just driving experience of this Genesis around Barcelona, at least on this setup, it's one of my, like, I'm having fun just driving it. Happens sometimes. I remember like a year and a half ago I streamed a race at, because the Ferrari hypercar fixed at Interlagos, and it just felt absolutely right, exactly like it should. As if I was watching the real onboard from WEC. Around outside, maybe? Maybe not. Maybe, yeah, kind of worked. But like the inputs and the driving that I have to do here is pretty much what I would expect from real life. There is a bit of too much rear movement and traction as well. Or, what's the word? Yeah, it's not 100% like it should be, but mostly feels great. But that rear dancing, maybe it's just TC problem here, because like when you floor it, sometimes it does this, you know, like just kind of something that wouldn't happen IRL, or that I think that wouldn't happen. Or like here, just kind of have to neutral steer a bit, but not in a way as if you're correcting a wheel spin, but just like that weird sideways walk of the car. No, but the traction is not as good as it should be, I think. It's always too much about traction control. FFB is not on 100%. I think effectively in most corners I have like 8 to 12 Newton meters, maybe 8 to 10. You can check in Modec after the race. Rebonjour. Is that a word that works in French? Sounds too much diff on power. It's quite low. I don't have high diff power, but yeah, it sounds like that. But the diff doesn't work like it should. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe it's not really traction. Maybe it's just the differential that's still copy-paste from EA Sports Formula 1 2000. You would expect if you go from min to max diff, big things will happen, but barely anything happens. Like coast, with coast a lot happens. That's fair. So we're using diff coast a lot on different cars. But pump, or no, preload, I think it's preload, and diff power, it just doesn't do anything. And it would massively change the balance in real life. So maybe we are blaming the tire, but we should blame the implementation of differential. I can show FFB settings. Wheel looks so shaky. I mean, it's quite bumpy, this track. So Motec doesn't tell you Newton meters, but it tells you 100% force. Like it, you see if you have FFB clipping, it goes to 100%. Like it's, what's it called, steering torque, steering shaft torque, and then FFB output percent. So when that stuff hits 100%, you know that you have run into the limit that you have set up in the steering wheel software. And then you kind of extrapolate out of it, and if you have like the FFB output in Motec around 50, then you know that if your max is 18, then you know that you have 9 Newton meters in the corner. The guy in the chat, in the server chat, keeps going. Oh, yeah. Okay, what? What was that? Okay, copy. So in fact, my traction control is not too high, even though it feels way too high sometimes. Yeah, here it just restricts the acceleration way too much, but I don't know. Well, let's try again. Third gear, bit of lift into the corner, full throttle, nothing. At least one is able to catch it when it happens. Well, I mean, if you know, you can protest if somebody is not good in the chat. But then it's not prescribed upon which moral values they are allowed to ban, or for what words they can ban. Even though I learned in the past year that the Western world has kind of different values when it comes to that compared to the rest of the world. But oh well. You're safe if you always go into the chat with charitable intentions, then nothing bad will happen, you know, regardless of the moral values. GT3. Thank you, nice line. Wonder if it was the same guy from the chat again. Yeah, the third red light should be the kind of the moment where you have to upshift for max power. And it usually quite accurate. It looks smooth, okay. Now the rear ARB is on 1, I think. Didn't you like diving him? Don't really have that stiff rear suspension at all. Rather soft. Wasn't the limit of that curb, and that was too much of this curb. Pierre, it's open setup. Road to Platinum, I mean, DR Platinum is far away. I was I gold free at some point? I was almost gold free, but yeah, last week I had a disconnection and then the GPU driver crashed in the Qatar 10 hours, so I'm back to low side of gold 2. Good evening, Mario. Too soft rear rebound. Could be dampers. I didn't really touch dampers at all. Oh, that rear thingy, the tarmac feels like it's at a different angle compared to the road. Well, I was gold 1 2 years ago. No, I don't know, probably not 2 years. 1 year and a half. Quite many were gold 2 at some point, and then they all got kicked into silver 2. Funny message in the server chat. How do we tell him how the esports split races look like? Oh dear, I watched last lap of F1 esports at Bahrain. Just a clip of it. What on earth? Oh, last 2 laps actually. Insanity. Only way to fix this, yeah, through goes Jarno. Only way to fix this is like a rule book like in HRSC, like the historic R-Factor 2 championship when we had that old 67 F1 season. When if you lose an engine or 2 tires after crashing, you don't have the car anymore for the next round. You have to take a slower spare car. So like, be funny with such system. Heavy damage, and then if you dive somebody and lose front right tire, then your car is toast, and for next round you cannot drive it. And maybe the rulebook would then say that if it's clear that somebody is at fault, then the one that's not at fault can get a new car still. And that's a green... Was that a Lambo? Probably not. Yeah, it's money involved, but that means that they actually want such action. Wonder if anybody got penalty. I didn't really follow that post-race situation. I'm scared of touching the throttle now in that corner because I got the big snap one time. But in all other corners I can pretty much smash the throttle. Badge ranks are broken, copy. And this new implementation of the same UI with the new system brought some weird things, weird problems. Well guys, we have some pace today, which is nice. I was really fearing that people would do Peugeot and Ferrari a lot and that they would just be way too quick. Oh, a little bit of a happy rear. Oi! Okay. Interesting. Maybe this should be fifth gear. I want to do one quick lap for the leaderboard. It's like the downforce stalls up, I don't know. I think it's just the tires, it's not really... I wouldn't blame the car too much. You're nervous in quali for special events. You know, it's the recipe is that you stop calling it that you're nervous. You start saying that you're excited, and then you realize everybody's excited. Oversteer, thank you for the sub. In the end, what helps the most is just not trying to overdo. If you're nervous, then it's better to make a safe lap than try to just go full push. And then special event or endurance races anyway, so doesn't matter if you're P1, P2, P5. maybe 10, like if it's 10-hour race, then anything can happen. Of course, it's better to be P1, but better to be P7 than crash out in quali. Wait, which one is stack overflow joke? That curve is dangerous. A bit at an angle, and then it forces you to kind of get a bit of rotation instantly. Fifth gear. I don't know, it's kind of this, again, R factor 2 rotation. In 4th, it just kind of twitches a bit more and helps you to rotate on the exit. In 5th, it's more stable, but it doesn't help you with rotation. There is quite a lack of GT3s today, I think. I think there is more hypercars than GT3s. Not sure. Try to rotate more on the curb to clear the GT3, but the curb is not flat. All the curbs are quite flat, but they are actually super aggressive. Like this one as well. Maybe if I lift and coast over it, I could do this, but it's fine, but it just like kind of nudges you a bit. So if you're on the limit, then you cannot really push it that hard. This one as well. It feels innocent and just fully flat, but it's not. Catchy on the inside, but need to take it somehow. I mean, it may be a bit small in some places for multi-class, but it doesn't feel bad. But you know, car for multi-class feels much more sketchy. Even if it's wider and more open. Feels like the moves are always more marginal. Not sure. Like that fast triple right at Qatar, it's always just not... I don't know how to call it. GTs are just trying to survive themselves, and then the hypercars are diving them, and they need to be just millimeter perfect, because hypercar would lose so much time by being safe. Here it's nowhere like that. You don't want the team to get mad at you. Yeah, well... It depends, you know, you can have many different teams. There might be teams that are all fully on the edge. And then if... I don't know where to put my car. Okay. If somebody does something, some mistake, then they are already just exploding with unhappiness, and that's not the best place to be honest. I mean, like, the whole team decides who's gonna qualify. They all accept all the risks and the benefits, and you just drive. It doesn't matter. If you do a mistake, well, you do a mistake. Then next time, all that's gonna happen is that when you're deciding who's gonna do the quali, it's gonna affect the decision a little bit, maybe. But again, the more races that you're doing, the less times, the more times that you do good quali, you will convince yourself you're fine, and others that they can put you in the car for quali, and most of the time it's gonna be fine. Sometimes it's not gonna be fine. It is what it is. But yeah, some people can overcome that kind of fear or anxiety over it, or shaking on the out lap or during the quali lap. Some people have to always turn off the delta, and the others can just drive and it's fine. I'm calculating in my head how much I would gain if I was doing full push and a pit stop in 40 laps. I would need around 8 tenths maybe per lap. I don't think I'm losing 8 tenths per lap, but it's not far off. At least fifth gear is fine. I'm not saving enough yet. GT3 is coming up anyway. No worries, Vin. Trying to overshoot this apex, but I'm just not able to. It just always hits the curb. I don't get it. I mean, I'm happy with it, but could break later. So what do I think of Genesis hypercars so far? I mean, the opinion kind of changes every 15 minutes, but just marginally. But I am surely enjoying this combination a lot. I wish the rear wasn't doing this weird stuff on the late exits. Like here it feels logical, like on the short shift fourth, just struggling a little bit for traction. But in high speed exits, like exit of turn 3, the front just, it's fully dead. And the rear kind of tries to go around it. Feels a bit wrong. Or here you cannot really turn in, you just need to just gently feel for it. And then the rear is happy to rotate as well. If you turn in more, you're just gonna overheat front left. And it's gonna understeer. Here as well, you cannot really turn in more than this, and I have already increased my wheel range. But that's not Genesis, that's just the tire model. The car itself, it's nice. I don't think I have massive complaints over it. Except the brakes that are just, well, LMDH brakes. Not great, not terrible. That was way too much input on the steering. But there was no hypercar tire changes that I would know. Although when they released them in January, or was it when? I think it was January, right? Or February. I think they said they didn't really make a big fuss around them. They said they will just do further changes and then fix them more in the future. They were kind of tiptoeing and feeling for the response because this tire model, it needs fixes. But at least we're not sliding around like madmen all the time like before. Just this push understeer on the exit, it just shouldn't be like that. I don't know. I need to lift and coast more. Hello, kid. Stealthy, which old one? If you mean the one that we have had for the whole 25 year, then yeah, this is a lot better. Although some would argue otherwise. But the behavior of the cars is much more logical here. If you watch the onboard, it makes a lot more sense. But just the driving aspect of it is a bit too tricky, but it's GT3s as well. The way that they just snap violently on the entries and then have this deadly understeer on the exit. Just doesn't make any sense. Gumball would say otherwise. But I don't know. of course, having more slip angle, I've learned, means that you have better FFB, more feeling, which I don't know really why. Well, I don't understand why that would be actually the case. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, I don't know why he stopped driving hypercar. It sounds like a skill issue. I know some people suddenly became really quick, and they weren't quick before, or like gained 2 tenths, 3 tenths, because suddenly they can drive maybe like ACC or iRacing, but before they had to just fully send it. For me, honestly, not much changed. I mean, it's still car, kind of drives similarly. I'm just happy that we are now feeling for the grip instead of just sending it like crazy. It was much easier saving the fuel behind Bieler in the previous race. I'm a bit on the dangerous side with the fuel now. I use my own setup. I have to do some more clicks. Oh, there we go. Finally, I managed to outbrake myself. I need to do some more clicks, some more fine tuning, and then it's gonna be available on the Go Setup shop on Friday probably. Well, I don't really have a big clue about setups either. I feel like, well, especially when you get a new car like Genesis, like the good old stuff should always work, you know, just optimizing, like putting the front as low as you can without bottoming or without hitting too much of packers in high-speed corners, and then trying some rake, not too much, not too little. So in the first days, hard to make like a fully fine-tuned setup. Of course, maybe some setup shop suddenly finds some click that works better, and because everything has to be released within a day or two, there's gonna be bigger differences. Well, for GT3s it's a bit easier, you just kind of click by feeling to some extent. For hypercars you need telemetry, Motec data. And that's Mr. Mardukovic, who was the race leader for some laps. Oh yes, Rokyong. Thank you, thank you. It looks cool, it drives cool. I just realized for screenshots it's a bit tricky as I was doing the screenshots for this stream, for the thumbnail. Because it's kind of the color of the asphalt. Kind of grey, a bit silver, but hard to make contrast on it. But I like the way that it drives. Now I really wonder when the real WEC drivers get to test it, what they will say. Mutabor, thank you for the sub. Right, I'm trying to oversave the fuel a bit now, so I can maybe push for a lap if I have free track ahead. It's Lexus doing funny things. So, what, 4 to go. Gonna be a bit of traffic. Maybe I can check this line over that tarmac on the left. Not too bad. The BMW GT3, I don't know, like there was this mess up with the bob. Suddenly BMW and Aston had like 150 or even 160 kilograms less than some other cars. Not sure to what extent that problem has been fixed. Genesis is kind of alright, I would say high tier. Well, I could battle against the Peugeot. So I think it's not OP at any track, but well, of course it's early days, it's day one. It doesn't feel too OP at the moment, but it's usable. It's good. Like the wingless Peugeot, that Paul Ricard, chicaneless Paul Ricard, that Peugeot was just so quick on the straight. And here at Barcelona, I think Peugeot and Ferrari, like the winged Peugeot and the Ferrari, still have a bit of an advantage. Looks like fresh track ahead for the last 2 laps. Time for a 29. You can put it together. I 11 seconds to the GT3. Maybe I catch him on a straight. Ooh, 2 GT3s. Let's see. too much traffic. If P2 is in a problem, he has to box. Just wait behind, save fuel, and then have full push for the last lap. %. Okay, yeah, that can be full attack. Oosh, yeah. Ah, traction. What? No purple, I guess. The rear just absolutely died. Okay. Well, cross the line. It wasn't overheating, it was just... I don't know. Wait, when did the rear ARB have it at 5? Probably I should have go down with it. I think I went... yeah, let's blame the rear ARB. But the car was super nice for the whole race, except that push lap was... it was the push ARBs. No, sorry, it was the fuel save ARBs that worked well. But they were not good for a hot lap on old, on old tires. Well, GG Alex. That would be purple if I didn't butcher it. Thank you, Rokyong. I think I'm getting better with the thumbnails as well. I mean, it's kind of you need to know how to do it. I've never got any experience with photography IRL, but here you kind of have to do some screenshots now and then you kind of get a feeling of what works and what doesn't. Some spots on track work really well. Well, GG's indeed. 10:30. I will let you guys enjoy some other streamers, and I will have a nice dinner and slowly think of going to bed. And maybe I do another stream on Thursday. I will see. I need to decide what to do. It's Easter time as well, so to you who celebrate nicely, all good for you. And let's not forget to check the start, because it was very messy before I sign off. You need my Go setup. Maybe I can convince them to upload it tomorrow instead of Friday, but I don't know what happened here. I just didn't press the button. Like I wanted to press it, but the finger didn't move. Like, anyway, messy start. But then of course I did the 2-2-2-2 once again. Stayed on track. I mean, okay, like this, you cannot blame me for this one. I was fully on the curb and he turned in a bit on me. And then I went on power and brushed him slightly towards the right, but that's fine. Then we go around the outside. All fair and clean. Ow. Yeah, and then we're here. I'm on the outside. No, that's not me, that's me. And there are two guys slightly behind. Of course they are gonna outbreak themselves. So I don't know, like from my POV I'm not even turning in, I just like slightly diagonal towards the inside and try to kind of keep it straight. Yeah, it's a difficult situation. Could always blame me, but leaving pretty wide. I would need to basically go just straight into the gravel to avoid the crash. And Mrdukovic can blame me for turning in on him. But yeah, he was not really pointing his car towards the apex, so... And then again, he had another car on the inside. No. Here comes Alex Siebel. Oh! Who was that? The Ferrari, the green Ferrari. That was a strange one. Ah, that's just a strange one, really. Don't really expect the overlap, but yeah, there was a bit of overlap. He goes for the spin. Oof. Yeah, he could see it coming from here. Forgot the music again. Yeah, good reaction. Why am I P2 there? Like, I don't understand. I'm about to be P5? A lift? Alex... I mean, yeah, Alex couldn't really see the apex. He kind of gave the room... He touched a bit, but yeah, I was at the curb, and you cannot really take that curb. It kind of pushes you towards outside again. Ah, and then this if you go on power here, it will just understeer wide. And then this ridge is really high. You really don't want to go across it. There we go. Okay, this is a problem as well. You kind of think you can take... Is the music a bit loud? You can kind of take the curb, but you kind of get angled and then it just spews you across the track, so... Yeah, I kind of bumped him, but then I wanted to give him a bit more space. He got pit limited. And then he couldn't really do much from here. A bit on the limit or a bit over the limit, but we're gonna take it. Maybe just quick check for the last lap. Lights. That's not me, that's me. This was good. And then... This was good. No, this was a bit of a... I don't know. Just sudden... Ah, there goes the server. I mean, it was just a slide or two. Okay. I already said all the good wishes. So, yeah, thank you for subs, for chat, for likes, much appreciated. See you guys soon. Have a very nice one. Bye bye.